Hello, everybody. It's Ed Rosenberg here again, and today I got a very special guest. Some of you may recognize him. It's Scott from InterCultural Elements. Scott, how you doing?
Very good, Ed. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing terrific, and it's good to see you and speak to you again, even though we're across the world now. Okay, so Scott, we've had some people express interest in your company. I think you have a very interesting service. Give us a little bit of a rundown of what you do, and then we'll dig into some of the specifics.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the question, Ed. So, we really try to do pretty much all of the services that a seller would need to be able to expand internationally, right? So that includes everything from starting off with some consultation. So we'll get on the phone with you, figure out exactly what types of items you sell, figure out which countries and marketplaces you should look into selling to, right? And then once we have a bit of a strategy for you, then we can do things like translate all of your listings. And one of the most important things there is that we have all of the translators who are professional, native speaking translators here in-house, so you never have to worry about quality. All of those translators are skilled with e-commerce translation. So no, that doesn't mean any sort of machine translation. That's really against our religion, so to say. But rather, what that does mean is that in talking to you originally, they'll figure out, okay, cool. If you want to expand to France, maybe you're looking at Amazon, eBay, and Cdiscount, let's say, right? Well, each of those have different title formats. So when they translate, they're going to create different title formats, maybe with or without search terms, etc., to make sure that all of those translations get the most traction, and in the end, you sell more.
Right, so,
So
so we have to give you one listing. In other words, let's say I have one item. That's my entire business, and I want to translate it properly and post it in all the different countries.
right.
So you have to basically, I give you one good listing, and then you take it from there. Is that correct?
Right, so that's part of it, and I focused a little bit on translation there, but I'll tell you a couple more things that we do as well.
Okay.
So the problem that a lot of sellers come up with is they get their listings translated, but then what do they do from it with it from there, right? You have to be able to get that into your listing tool, get it out to the marketplaces. So that's also what we do. So not only do we have translators in house, but also e-commerce experienced account managers who deal with everything from Amazon, eBay, any type of marketplace that you can imagine listing on in the world. And they're also well versed in all types of listing tools. For example, Channel Advisor, Volo, Linworks, pretty much anything you can imagine, we've done it. Okay, so we get all of that information directly into your listing tool, get it out to the marketplaces, and even post sale, we can help you with things like customer service. So we have native speakers again here in Europe. That's where we're based. So if you're an American seller, for example,
Right.
you're selling in Europe, time is also always a real issue, right? But we're actually in those time zones, so we can help you out there. Okay, and then even past that, let's say that you have somebody who wants to return your item. As you know, Amazon requires a warehouse in the country that you're selling into, and we can offer warehouses in 19 countries, and that covers all of the Amazon countries. So you don't have to worry about any issues there. So we really have you covered all the way from A to Z.
Okay, so once it goes into those warehouses on a return, what happens then? You'll contact us. So let's say I'm in New York and I'm selling in Germany and I get a return in Germany. So to go to your warehouse, and what happens next?
Right. So it's that process is actually outlined on our website. So it's almost a little bit easier to explain pictorially. But in short, right. So we would give a local return address, let's say in the UK, right? That item would be sent to the UK warehouse, right? And then it would basically be forwarded on to another warehouse, okay? And there, basically, it would be consolidated, put into a box, and then sent back to you. So there is one little caveat to the global returns. And that is at this point we're adding on the US. We're really focused on Europe at this point. So it's really great if you have some sort of warehouse in Europe to return those items to. For example, if you have like FBA or some sort of situation like that. But US is actually to be added to our list of countries very, very soon. So.
Right. So, but right now, if I'm selling in Amazon UK and I get a return, I can use your service to get the return back. I'll need an address anyways to get the return back to you, and then you'll send it back to me DHL or the cheapest possible way. Is that correct?
So to a certain extent, yeah, that's one thing that we're looking to add on. At this point, basically, the returns would be basically sent to Europe and consolidated there. We should definitely talk on sort of a one-on-one basis on
Right.
exactly how we can do it. Basically, getting it from Europe back to you.
Okay, so now I want to get one of our members told me that they tried signing up and they said there's some kind of like 6 month contract or commitment. How does that work if a guy, I could see somebody saying, I could say I want one listing, here's one good listing in the US, and I want it posted properly, in UK, all over Europe, Japan. Do I need a 6 month commitment or like how do you base that? How do you sign up? Walk me through the process of signing up, please.
Yeah, really good question. So obviously we have a breadth of different services that we offer. Okay, so there is one thing we offer called Team. That's account management, and what that effectively gives you is common situation. Let's say a U.S. seller who doesn't have a lot of experience selling abroad. Okay, or let's say in specific countries like let's say Japan, right, or some of the European countries or Australia. So what we can do is offer an account manager to go into your account on a daily basis or weekly basis and pretty much be your outsourced foreign account manager. So instead of having a cross-border trade department in your business, right? We can be that outsourced department for you. Okay, so that is called team, and that usually does have a commitment of 6 to 12 months, right? But you're absolutely right. So a lot of people don't necessarily want to start off with that; they want to sort of test us out first. But the vast majority of our services, including almost like Team Light, so to say, right, where you can try out those services, there's absolutely no commitment there. You basically say, I want to go to again, let's say, Amazon, Italy, and Spain. We do that for you. No further commitment.
hmm I see. Okay, so but it's still basically I submit what I want and I get a quote emailed or on the phone back. Is that correct?
Correct, exactly, yeah. So that consultation I told you about, that's a very important part of our process because we want to make sure that we're taking care of each client individually. Everybody's different, right?
hmm
So absolutely. So consultation is always a vital part of that first conversation that we have with you, and then we can give you a quote through that.
Right. And you also do customer service in international countries?
Yep, we absolutely do. Yeah, so we have native speakers again here in house. Everything is done in house here. People answering email and even phone for a number of different countries. There, pretty much all the countries that we offer.
Right, but how does that work? So let's say you have a customer service rep for me in Japan. I mean, do I have to train that customer service rep with some basic information of what I do? Or like, what could they possibly answer more than a call center? Or can they?
Right, so they can answer a whole bunch, right? This is another thing that we do. So anything that we try to do it quite intelligently, okay? So in this way, with customer service, first thing that we do is, again, get on the phone with you, right? That customer contact is vital. So we find out from you what your FAQs are, some of the common questions that you get, how you solve them, all of your current policies, right? And we just adopt that. Very similar to what I described before, that person in the customer service is really your outsourced foreign customer service person. So
hmm
they adopt all your rules, and then they would go into your, let's say, Amazon accounts on a daily basis, at least twice a day, empty out the questions that you have, right? And we can answer within just a couple of weeks the majority of the questions that you do have, right? Just based on those FAQs and all the info that we've gathered. And then the small amount of questions that we can't answer by ourselves, right? Then we would ask you. But if you look at what I just described, it's actually really efficient because then you don't have to wait for the whole back and forth and time delays and time zone problems. Instead, we take care of it like that, and it's a native speaker. So
Aha, so they'll answer all the questions and anything which they can answer will be escalated to the company.
exactly, that's it.
Okay, so do you actually sell on Amazon yourself?
So I personally don't actually. It's funny we get that question every once in a while, but definitely around now we have around about 40, 45 people in the company, so that definitely keeps me busy enough where yeah, that's my main job.
Ah, so you don't right now you don't sell on Amazon at all.
I don't actually, but let's say before founding Intercultural Elements with two partners, actually, one Dutch and one German, we actually, I worked for a very large US-based listing tool and sort of led up their implementation department for a number of years based out of the UK.
Ah,
So I have quite a bit of experience with sort of working with a lot of sellers over the years.
how many languages do you speak?
Well, okay, yeah, probably three. I could probably say halfway well,
That's
right?
pretty
So,
good.
thanks.
Okay, so I could see this being a very useful tool, and I'm all about getting the most value for our group, which I think the world of. So can you tell us, give us, we spoke about it before. Can you give us some kind of promotion for signing up, just for being part of our group?
Absolutely. After chatting about it a little bit, I think what would be really good is to offer an Amazon gift certificate for $25 whenever you sign up for any of our services. I think that'd be a great starting point. So,
Right, and you're not going to inflate the price at the end, right? It's going to be.
no, not at all.
I'm
No,
only
we
kidding.
don't do that. We wouldn't have been in business for 9 years if we did things like that.
Right,
So,
no, I'm only kidding. So of course, so basically, you're going to give me instructions on how to do it, and then anybody that signs up on our group can, we'll get a $25 gift certificate after they sign up, emailed to them, and that'll be a nice promotion, I think.
that's exactly, yeah. If you just let us know that you signed up via your program, then yeah, you'll be good to go.
Okay, so I appreciate it very much, and that was a very informative phone call. And once again, we'll keep in touch, and thanks for spending time with me. All right?
Hey, thanks a lot, Ed, and take care.
Okay, be well. Thank you.